Fun with Tab Mama Wiggles presents the 3 phases of matter. Let's learn some characteristics of liquid. Liquid takes the shape of the container, which is part of the volume. It has no definite shape. The particles are spread apart, as you see in the picture. And when liquid vibrates, it moves about. These are some of the characteristics of liquid. Let's look at a couple characteristics of solid. Solid has a definite shape and volume, such as this rock. And particles in a solid are tightly packed, real close together. Finally, let's look at some characteristics of gas. Gas has no definite shape, which affects the volume. And the particles move randomly. And gas will take up the shape of the container, such as these balloons. These are some characteristics of gas. Now, let's watch some transformation as each one of these phases go from one stage to another. Are you ready? Let's have some fun. Hello everybody, how you doing? As you know, science is real fun. And when I was a little kid, we learned that matter, which means it's anything that has weight and take up space. And when I was young, we only learned 3 types of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. But today, we're going to talk about a liquid that changes to a solid. I have some liquid here. Some green apple lemonade. And we're going to take this green apple lemonade liquid and we're going to change it to a solid. So how do you think we can change this liquid to a solid? What can I do? We can freeze it. So I'm going to put this green apple liquid lemonade into the freezer. We're going to come back in 24 hours to see if that liquid changed to a solid. What do you think that's called? Freezing. Great job. Liquid changed to a solid. It's called freezing. Let's see what happened to our green liquid. As you can see, our liquid green apple lemonade turned into a solid. So when a liquid turns into a solid, you have to do what to it? You have to freeze it. And that's what it's called. When a liquid changes into a solid, you freeze it. Now we're going to take this solid green apple and we're going to change it back to a liquid. So if we can change the solid back to a liquid, what do you think we have to do to it? So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on the steps and we're going to just let it sit there outside and tune in to see what happened to our solid green apple lemonade. 4 hours ago, we had a solid green apple lemonade. That same solid is now back to its liquid form. And we changed a solid back to a liquid. And when that happens, that is called melting. So how did it change from a solid to a liquid? What caused it to change from a solid form to a liquid form? That's right. Temperature was warmer, and that's the reason why it changed from a solid to a liquid. We are now looking at an example how a liquid can change to a gas. You see the steam? This is an example of evaporation. Here's an example how gas can change back to a liquid just by putting the lid on top of a pot. See the little water particles? Well, that was once gas, and we trapped it by putting a lid on it, and now it changed to water. So gas that changed to water is called condensation. Wow, we have science even in our own house when we cook. You know that gas can change to a solid? And when this happens, it is called deposition. And a common example of that would be frost on the window. Finally, a solid can change to a gas. And we see this all the time. And this is called sublimation. An example of this would be simply dry ice in warm temperature. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the 3 phases of matter. And I hope you learned a lot as well. If you did, please share and subscribe to Fun with Tab, where learning can be meaningful and fun.